In the year 2058, an anomalously expanding red giant sun threatens to engulf the Earth within 100 years. The world's nations are forced to consolidate into a world government and construct 12,000 enormous fusion-powered Earth engines to thrust Earth out of the solar system. Before going on his mission aboard the navigation platform International Space Station, Chinese astronaut Liu Peqiang leaves his son Qi in the care of his father-in-law Han Ziyang. Half of humanity, mostly chosen by non-transferable lottery, are moved into underground cities. The remaining billions dying in the cataclysms resulting from stopping the Earth's rotation and thrusting the planet from its orbit. And later, with the Earth's surface temperature dropping to colder than -70 degrees Celsius, -94 degrees Fahrenheit, as the Earth moves further from the Sun. 17 years later, in 2075, Liu Peqiang is set to return to Earth after the Chinese New Year. His son Liu Qi, now an adult, obtains fake IDs and stolen thermal suits from criminal gangs and borrows his grandfather's clearance pass to take his foster sister, Han Duo. He and both are arrested at a nearby checkpoint and get jailed. Meeting another prisoner, Tim. Han Ziyang attempts to bribe an official for the release of his grandchildren, but is himself arrested. As Earth approaches his gravity assist around Jupiter, a spike in tidal force causes devastating earthquakes that disable many Earth engines and sets the planet on a collision course with Jupiter. It takes 20 years to reach the Jupiter, which its massive gravity should serve as the sling for the frozen Earth to accelerate through, yet things go very wrong in that fateful day. When Earth is passing, the Jupiter brings his little sister along for her favor of stealing his grandpa's truck key. After slipping through the thugs chasing, they get into an elevator to the surface. Outside, they are odd to see the huge structure called Earth Engine, which is only one of the 10,000. They find the special truck their grandpa drives and use the stolen key card to drive. Meanwhile, on a space station called the Navigator, their father, Liu Peqiang, is getting ready to return to Earth. It is his last shift, and it's exactly the same day the Earth is supposed to glide past the Jupiter and accelerate to achieve the necessary speed of flying out of the solar system. The grandpa escaped the prison with the cellmate called Tim. Moss warns everyone that the space station will go into low-energy mode. Liu Qi, his sister, and truck and narrowly escapes death. In the space station, the main computer AI, called, should go back to their sleeping bay. Liu Peqiang, the father, calls the grandpa and is surprised to learn that they are in a truck together. He directs the truck to the nearest bunker. After that, he goes to his quarter and prepares to hibernate. The truck is intercepted by a team of elite Chinese soldiers. They need the truck to tow a precious cargo called lighter core, which can be used to ignite Earth engines. The grandpa is not happy but has to obey their order. The father calls again and requests the captain of the team to let them go into a bunker. For that, the captain promises they will let everyone go except the grandpa for his job of driving. After some time, the grandpa drives them to Shanghai, where the huge tremor has torn open a long gap, showing the old city covered by ice. As the truck goes into the gap, the grandpa tells stories about his memories in the city. A second tremor hit and cliffs on both sides of the gap start collapsing. Everyone has to abandon their vehicles to go into the tallest building of Shanghai. In the effort of escaping, the team loses a soldier, and the grandpa dies when the tall building collapses. Liu Qi blames his death on the captain and refuses to continue. After a confrontation with the other rescue team members, Liu, Tim, and Han Duo abandon the mission. The trio come upon a crashed cargo plane with an intact vehicle, where the surviving engineer aboard, Li, eventually convinces them to transport another lighter core to repair the Earth engine in Sulawesi, aboard the space station. Liu Peqiang discovers that Moss, the computer commanding the station, has decided to abandon Earth to destruction and repurpose the station as an interstellar ark to seed a new planet with Earth's biosphere. Liu breaks out of forced hibernation and attempts to reach the control room. He is joined by his good friend and Russian cosmonaut Maxim Makarov, who was awakened by Moss to stop Liu. While spacewalking, Makarov is killed by the spacecraft's automated security measures. Liu enters the control room, but his attempts of overriding the evacuation procedures are revoked due to insubordination. A female soldier shoots at the lighter core and breaks it. The outside of Hangzhou, the elite team finds repairing. A teammate died from the bitter cold. They have a fight, and the captain almost kills her for it. Just when they are all desperate, the truck driven by Liu Qi shows up, and they now have a new mission: Escort the other lighter core inside the truck to so long as he have only 7 days, until the Earth get torn apart. Luki's group arrives at the Sulawesi supply depot to find that the engine was already fully restored along with most others around the planet. However, the combined thrust of the engines is no longer able to divert the trajectory, with Earth approaching Jupiter's Roche limit. Believing the end is inevitable, Musk broadcasts a final message to the world. Gravity is sucking Earth's atmosphere to such a degree that the air is too thin to even fly the plane, thus the crash. Lee out that the whole city is lost to the lava. The Earth engine there is damaged beyond continue the mission. Watching the tremendous Jupiter looming over his head, Lucci suddenly has an idea. Earth's oxygen mixed with Jupiter's hydrogen can be ignited and generate a big boom. Lee agrees with him, so he develops a new plan to rescue the Earth. Lou and Tim drive the truck to deliver the lighter core. Elite soldiers push a giant igniter pin. Lee and another tech will go to the control room, and Liu's sister and the female soldier will go to the communication room. The plan suffers major setbacks. The core is delivered but machine is stuck. Soldiers have too little manpower to push the pin. Lee's program is uploaded but freeze at 99%. Liu's sisters call for help, get no response. She suddenly realizes that she can't make an emergency call to the space station and ask for Liu Peiqiang's help. Liu receives the call. Peiqiang is reluctant to follow the computer's instructions, but Moss tells him that someone else already had this idea, and the successful chance is 0, but he still calls the UEG and pleads for authorization. UEG only agrees to broadcast the sister's message to all remaining rescuers. Liu's sister cries and begs for the hope to save Earth. Many rescuers return and help the soldiers push in the giant pin. Lucci, the son, finally get the machine unstuck, then they drive the truck running away from the engine. Everything is ready except the launch program. The tech is badly hurt by falling rocks, but he manages to put the right cable in the socket. The program finally get uploaded 100%. The genius Lee starts the program, right after Liu's truck barely makes it outside. The torque engine, the bigger Earth engine, shoots a straight red light toward the giant eye of the Jupiter, but the power cannot reach the ignition area. It is short by 5,000 kilometers. The father, Liu Peiqiang, remembers that the navigator has 30,000 tons of fuel, which should generate a 5,000 kilometer of flame if ignited. The AI, Moss, tries to stop him but fails. Liu burns the computer and manually drives the space station toward the red light. Before the space station is destroyed by the red light, the two Liu have a final conversation. The father repeats that when you look at the Jupiter, you will see me. The son looks up at the huge red eye above and sees his father's ship turns into a fireball. Jupiter's atmosphere is burning. A gigantic impact wave is coming. People scramble to get into the underground bunker. Lucci finds his sister with Tim, but the elevator is broken. The genius Lee advises them to hide under the torque engine, which they complies. But before they can reach the engine, the impact wave arrives and destroys the truck they are riding, throwing them out. Tim holds on a pipe, but Liu sees his sister dropping down, so he falls toward her. In the air he catches her and deploys an instant bubble capsule, which saves both of their lives. Liu's helmet is broken by the fall. The cold air is killing him. The last glimpse he catches tells him that the Earth survives the ordeal, and then he closes his eyes. Time jumps to 3 years later. Earth goes on. Lucci becomes a junior driver. Everyone respects him and smiles at him. Their journey will continue in the next movie, perhaps. The first one is already good enough.